beautiful people. I am back for Ambitions Review, episode 14, I believe, with You Owe Me. Y'all, I'm so cold. Like, I've been back home for like an hour, and I'm just not getting feeling in my legs. If I don't know if you guys watch my Bluff City Law reviews, but if you do, I said I was gonna go to the store and buy some wine, because tonight I'm gonna have wine and pizza. But it's raining here, so it's very, like it's 10 times colder with the rain. And what would usually be like a 10-minute walk turned into a 20-minute walk there and back. So I spent like 40 minutes out in the rain just to get 4 bottles of wine, but they were on sale, and they were $4.99. It was the barefoot wine, which it's cheap wine, but it's good. Anyway, so for this episode of Ambitions, illegitimate Lancaster is back at home. The doctor came and checked him out. And the way this episode is going, I just don't get why they're going with the angle that that's my baby daddy. We talking on Twitter, so I'm like, her notifications are popping up, so I'm like, what she said? Anyway, what was I saying? So they're going with the angle, they're going with the angle that Stephanie doesn't know about little big brother Evan and Bella, or that she's just now finding out and speculating that they're having an affair, and that she thinks that illegitimate Lancaster can be his son. And it's just like, there's no way that she didn't know. And she is like, sorry, that's my feet sliding across the floor if y'all can hear that. She in her office, like I said the last review when they showed the preview, that she gonna be talking to her mama. She like real upset about this. It's real tears. As far as TV shows go, real tears. And like, she looking at their picture, she like really feels a way of a possibility that he could be having an affair. And of course, her name is on the accounts that he was going to try to pull the $1 million from. So she saw him do all those withdrawals to equal out to $1 million, but then he put them right back. So that was her thing of, he's taking money from me and my kids to give to her. And then I don't know. The reason why I'm not excited about it, because it's like, it makes no sense that you didn't know already. And even if you didn't know and you finding out, it's like, why do you feel so strongly about it? I guess is my thing, because it's just like, y'all both cheating on each other. I said this on Twitter talking to Rambling K. I was like, they both cheat on each other, and then they still come back and do their thing together. So it's just like, if you cheat on your spouse, how do you get to be mad about the possibility that they might be cheating on you too? It's just like, y'all both do, like, what's understood don't have to be explained. Because some couples are just like that. It's like, they can do their thing on the outside, but then it's just like, excuse me, we're in this code together. I mean, I said code because I'm watching Smart Guy, and it's the episode is called The Code. They're in this relationship together, and that's the code that they have. That's what I was trying to say, but it all tied in together. Don't worry about it. And then they found the cameras that Damien had put in Amara and Titus's house. But he somehow like wiped them where it couldn't be traced back to him. But while Amara was suspecting Stephanie, Titus was suspecting Damien, but they both didn't think, I'm being nosy, they didn't think it could be the other person. So Amara like, why don't you think it's Stephanie? And then he's like, why don't you think it's Titus? I mean, not Titus, why don't you think it's Damien? And she was just like, I ain't trying to argue, you right. And then she was gonna try to which she did anyway, she was gonna confront him, but he's like, nah, if you go down there saying anything to him, it could spark something. So she's like, you know what, you right, I'll leave it alone. But as she walking away, you could see the look on her face. And then he gets a text about work, so he had to go. But then Damien, it was like his first day back at work. So of course the first place he goes is to her office, talking about he just want to clear the air and he don't want there to be no misconception, and he's not trying to cause any harm to her or Titus. So, but she plays that up though, and she was like, you know, I've been blaming you as if you were the cause for this thing all by yourself. She's like, I also had a hand in this affair. And he was like, don't call it that. Don't call it an affair. So it's just like, she's starting to, I think she knows that he's crazy, but it's starting to come through how crazy he really is. And so she plays to that. And she's like, she tells him that Titus held her down in the bed and made her say his name, say Damien's name, and then he locked her in the closet for like some hours. So of course that got him mad, and he's like, I'm here for you, you know, you don't have to go through this alone, you're not in this alone, you're not the only one that has feelings. And she just plays up to it, and he walks out. And then later on, I don't know if she's setting alarms or if somebody was texting her like, here he come, because she played like she was on the phone with her mama while he was standing like right outside the door. And she's like, Mom, you know, Titus doesn't even stay at the house anymore. It's not his fault that I have feelings for somebody else. So, and then also there was a scene where Damien was having a dream or a fantasy that him and Amara got together again. But in the middle of him and Amara about to get it on, here come Titus, like pushing him out the way. And, you know, they start getting into it. And he just yells, no! And he jumps up out of his sleep. I was like, I was going to call him Titus. I keep getting them mixed up. Damien is insane. So, what else happened? So, Titus goes to Stephanie's office to, he tried to like play her, and I thought she was like confessing her feelings. So I was like, oh, so everybody just losing their mind this episode and confessing feelings and showing their true colors. Because he was he asked her, why did she leak the thing? And she the email about the racial things that Hunter said all those years ago got leaked. And of course Stephanie did it, but she playing like she didn't. And he was like, why would you do that? She was like, I didn't do anything. And he was like, I reported you to the bar, so you're gonna get this bar, you're gonna lose your license, all this. And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And tell me this, how can you still work for somebody after those emails? And he was like, I know we not doing the what did he say? Like, we're not checking morale, because how can you work for Greg Peters while he destroys your neighborhood? And she was like, Buckhead is my neighborhood, the banks ain't my neighborhood, honey. And oh, excuse me. Oh, dang. My bad. Like, just blanked out for like 10 seconds. It's cause I start, like, you know, when Disney Plus first came out, I was watching like all the movies, and I started Smart Guy, but then I didn't go back because, like I said, I was watching all the movies. So now this is still season 1, and it's only episode 2. It's an episode where Mo got caught with Mo was smoking, and then he put it out and ran, and TJ got caught with it, but then he told on Mo, and Mo got in trouble. So speaking of, and I don't know why I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I'm literally looking at the younger S's Atkins while talking about Ambitious. And so he was like, I'm thinking about divorcing Amara. And she's like, she really put it up. She was like, "Oh, darling, I'm so happy." He was like, "I thought you would say that." And like, she turned on him. She was like, "If you think I would do all that just for you, you out of your mind." She's like, "I want to see Amara burn for what she did to me," which I guess is getting with him all those years ago. And so he walked out, and she was like, "You really thought you had me like that?" Like, please. And so then we had Perla coming by Bella's house with a little Easter basket, like she ain't the one that kidnapped illegitimate Lancaster. And you know, of course, her and Evan see each other, they roll their eyes at each other, and that's that. And what was it? Bella said something. Oh, she was like, they killed the one guy, and she was like, "I wish I could have been the one to put the bullet in their head." And she was like, "Don't say that." And it's just like her face cracked a little bit because, of course, that was her boyfriend. So she's like, "Don't talk like that." And Bella was like, "I mean every single word of what I just said." And she telling her information. She's like, Evan's guy said there was two of them, so I can't wait till they better hope they catch the other one before I do." So then we have her at the end, like she hop in the car. I'm getting ahead of myself. Ignacio is back in town, and so he comes by to see Bella. They discussing business, and then what was I saying? Ignacio comes by to discuss business, and she breaks it off with him. She's like, "I really need to focus on my family," and he was like, you know, "I'm not giving up on you. I'm not giving up on people that I care about." And then when he leave, he goes out, well, against the wall in the hallway to make a phone call. Like, she was tripping at first, but I got her back together. And he said this partnership needs to take off and fast. So I know now that he wasn't a part of the kidnapping. I heard somebody say, I think it was Ashley Miller, that his what am I trying to say? His scheme is his family business isn't doing as well as Bella and the world probably think it's doing. So they're trying to get a hot designer to help them, you know, get their business back in order. And at the end of the episode, the freaking cousin, Rondell's cousin. So it's after the funeral. I was gonna say after the wedding. It's after the funeral, and I thought they was gonna show the funeral, but they didn't. And so it's just after the funeral. Rondell talking about how many people came and showed love, and the cousin like, "Yeah, it was standing room only." And out of nowhere, she's like, "I didn't want to." She was like, "I wanted to wait till after the funeral to discuss this." And she brings out a promissory note that her dad gave to Senior Evan to open the restaurant, and it was $50,000. It was a promissory note, so they have to honor that. And Rondell was like, "What you expect me to do with this?" And the cousin like, "I just want the money that I'm owed, cousin." And he's just like, see what I mean about family. Family will do you wrong in a minute. It's like they just so cold with it. It makes no sense. I gotta turn this off. I'm sorry, because it's distracting me. It's like also during the episode they was gonna take down the scoreboard, but they had the mural with the basketball team, and somebody painted over it like with skirts and wigs and stuff, making them look like girls. And so when they dropped the the veil to reveal it, everybody mouth just hanging. I gotta hurry up so I can get back to this show. What else happened? Oh yeah, so it's there was what am I saying? A reading of the will, sorry. And at first it was just supposed to be, of course, little big brother Evan and Rondell, but two more people were added, and that was the cousin and her lawyer. And Senior Evan in his will said exactly that he had every intention of paying back the $50,000, but what he couldn't do in life, he thought he could do in he'll do in death, which is giving her part of the company to make up for that $50,000. And then so she has a part, and then they little big brother Evan and Rondell have equal parts. But the cousin now has 2/3 of the company, as well as the land that it stands on, which of course we know in the long run she's gonna sign off to Greg Peters, which was the big deal in the first place. And she was so tacky with it. And I was just like, when she first came through that door, I knew not to trust her. I'm like, just because family don't make you family. And I wish people understand that. Like, it makes y'all biologically related. Blood, let me say that. Blood makes y'all biologically related. But family, that don't make y'all family. And it's just like, just how she came in, she played that role real well. And it's like, it's still the day of the funeral. It's just the night of. She couldn't even wait. And she's like, I want my money. And then when they got to the reading of the will, she got, oh, okay. Perfect scenario. Have y'all ever seen, I think, is it Hair Show? I think that's what it's called. It was a BET movie with Monique and her sister. They could both do hair, but Monique was like the ghetto one, and her sister was like upscale and had her own business. But Monique had trouble with the law, but the granny passed away, and they had to show up for a reading of her will. And Monique just knew she was getting some money, and she was ghetto fabulous, just whatever. That was the cousin. If anybody know what I'm talking about, that's the setup. That was the cousin. And she's just like, she don't put on these big old shades. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So you can just imagine that the next episode, because she all up in Rondell face like, I can make your life a living hell. So we know she gonna sell the company and let that be done with it. Because at first, I meant to mention that, before they got to the reading of the will, Evan had a checkbook. It was like this big old checkbook. He was sitting there, and they told him about it. So he's just like, how much? And she's like, $50,000 back then in today's terms is like $600,000. I'll just take $500,000. And he was writing out a check. So at first I thought he wrote out the check just to get her out the way, but it was actually only a check for $5,000. And she was like, is that it? Like, y'all for real? Y'all, she thinking she in training day. Y'all think y'all can do this to me? And it's just like, also this episode, they said shit so many times. This is bullshit. Do you think you can do this shit? I'm tired of this shit. And it's just like, not if y'all can say another cuss word besides bitch, y'all just going to town with it. And it's just like, I love cussing just like the next person, but it's just like, to where it don't make no sense for that word to even be there. Come on now. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me quit. I think that's about it though. Yeah. Cause the way the episode went off, my bad, that's not it. Cause Perla, she just get in the car talking. Like, they know that it's me, they're gonna figure out it's me, I'm so dead. And coming to focus is Mama Lancaster, Mrs. Lancaster. And she's like, is it my fault that you don't know how to follow instructions? So it's like, once again, the mama is, working her way behind the scenes, trying to pull strings and make things go the way she thinks they should go. And also Stephanie showed up to Bella's house again, and she took a hat that I guess she either knew or she suspects to be illegitimate Lancasters, and she gonna have her assistant pull DNA from both of them to see if they're related. And it's just like I said, I think they should have did the plot of her knowing already, because it don't make sense for her not to know, unless they gonna say, you know, she been doing so much of her own thing that how would she know? But otherwise, it just don't make sense. But yeah, that was it for ambitions. And oh my god, I'm cold. I got my heat on, but it's still cold. I'll see y'all later. I've had so much fun, like, you know, doing these videos like almost every day, because when I go back to work, it ain't gonna be none of this. So I hope y'all enjoy me like I enjoy y'all, and I will see y'all later. I'm about to go get some of this wine, even though it's still hot, because I just put it in the freezer, but I'm gonna take it out and get some. Bye guys.